Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? We are very, very, very happy you are here. This has been a whirlwind week for me, and I am so happy to be here that I've landed after traveling all over my week and my back and forth to Boston, and so many great things happened to me this week. It was my birthday week, and I'm just so happy. Another trip around the sun. And what better way to get this new year started than with our show tonight? We meet here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Our very special guest tonight is one of my all-time favorite songwriters, and I'm not just saying that. He is the loveliest human, and his music is beautiful. Tonight we have Tim Dipasqua. Hit it, Leo. It's my love. The day's free and the night's long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. I'm as brave as famous as I wanna be. Who I am, fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Oh, who I am. It's fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Down my yesterday. Knowing only distance would help me to reveal. And fate has smiled upon me in the city that I sleep in. New York has brought me happiness. I think that I am keeping. Yes, New York is a city. There'll never be a lost in. But my mother and the Red Sox live in Boston. Leo, why didn't you warn me you were going to do that? Oh, that was so emotional. Anyway, oh my God, I'm going to kill you. I had no idea you were going to do it. I love you too. You're so sweet and thoughtful. So that was our Boston show. Oh my God. It was so amazing. And I know you got those pictures offline. So many of my friends came out. Just incredible.
Oh, I have to say, some of them were online, yes, but some of them were sent to me by my secret little spy, Miss Weather Girl.
I was gonna say you are, and Rena Criali-Bergi, my cousin from Massachusetts, are always in cahoots. The two of you. Mm-hmm. I always say I would never have to. If I was a teacher, I could never put you next to each other. You'd be in so much trouble.
I'm keeping my spot in that big Italian family, so.
Oh my! Let me tell you, you are our Mexican cousin, for sure. So I want to first of all.
Dee, you have spies. Come on, don't give me that.
So Dee from Dee's Enlightened Edits, our friend who is a spiritual medium. She is a teacher. She is a card reader. I got to tell you, she did. I mean, oh my God, it was so wonderful. She did a spirit animal reading for me.
Oh, and wow.
I've never been a person that I don't know. It kind of intrigued me, but I never would have chosen that. But she did one for me. Oh my God. As per usual with Danielle, how she shifts things in you and changes perspective. I saw my life in a very different way. Wow. And I got to tell you, Danielle, I haven't had a chance to talk to you much since then, but she did the reading for me before the show, a couple days before the show, and I thought about it because I was really nervous going out there, and I thought about it, and it really helped me.
May I ask what your primary animal is?
Guess what? I mean, this makes total sense because I am a Gemini. I had two. So, and they were not what I thought they were going to be. They ended up being birds. One was a black hawk.
Beautiful.
Which I was like, what? And
powerful
I mean,
animal.
Oh my God. And then the other one was a flamingo. And I was like, what? Flamingos are goofy. And then I thought, well, that makes sense.
The seer and the presentation, it seems like all together.
But what she does, which I cannot recommend this enough. I mean, I had the quantum session first, right? Which I think everyone should have. If you have people that have passed on, the quantum session is going to heal you. And it also heals you because it helps. Danielle is very, very, very knowledgeable in many things. And it helps you to see your own path and your own, part in things. And I found that very healing. This is another level of this what I found it incredibly inspiring and empowering for me. And I can't recommend that enough. And it's so reasonable. The mini reading, which is, she calls it a mini reading. It's like not only does she do it for you, she sends it to you audio. So you have it and you can listen to it over and over. But there's so much information that I had to listen to it 3 times to write everything down. So if you want a mini spirit animal reading, which I don't know why she calls it a mini, it's the most thorough thing it's like a whole class. It was only $69. It's
awesome!
So incredibly reasonable for what you get. I mean, it's just mind blowing. So I highly recommend that. And I got to tell you something. These things are not just amazing for yourself, but they're great gifts. I thought about this. What a great gift for a graduate.
Especially going out there to hit the world.
Yes, you're going out into the world, starting your new journey. What an amazing gift would be a spirit animal mini reading. I mean, I got to tell you, I was blown away. Well, but Danielle is kind of amazing.
It makes me think of the trail, the hikers that are going out. They would also bear from one of those.
I'm so glad
as well.
Now, Leo has been doing something. He was telling me about the other day, and I said, Leo, you have to talk about this on the show. This is so amazing. Danielle, you're going to love this. So go ahead.
There is the Pacific Crest Trail. There's hikers all over the place that love to hike, Kilimanjaro and all kinds of Mount Fiji and such. In California, through Oregon and Washington, is the Pacific Crest Trail. And you start in Mexico area, right at the border, pretty much, and you hike all the way up into it. So you're going over the mountain region, desert region. You're going over where Big Bear is. You're going you're going over the Sierras, which may be difficult for many hikers because the snowpack is still so. A lot of people will skip ahead and then come back years later or a year later and do the other path that's open and such. And when they come down from the mountain, at least here in Idlewild, there's several different exit and entryways that you can exit the Pacific Crest Trail that come down. One of them is closer to Garner Valley. Garner Valley is where they used to shoot John Wayne films and Clint Montgomery, old westerns and such. Beautiful, beautiful.
How cool is that?
Up here in Idlewild, we have Humber Park, which takes you up Devil's Slide, and you can connect to Saddleback and connect to the Pacific Crest Trail there. There's also an exit further down at Deer Springs. There's all these trails that connect. And then as well, they take it down the mountain into the desert in Cabazon. So,
oh my God, that's amazing.
After hiking so long, sometimes they need a ride to get to wherever they're at or a ride back to wherever they're at. And so there is a league of people that have been for many years, trail angels, so to speak.
I love that. Well, you are an angel anyway, so of course you would be a trail angel.
Well, it was really, I was sitting up here, and I told you it's a mountain town. There's a lot of things to do, but I was sitting up here and not really doing very much, and I was helping a couple people who have become friends now. And in talking with a lot of the people that they're having an experience with people from around the world that are on this trail. Sometimes you're hiking with people, sometimes you meet up. You have magical experiences because when I used to go to theater festivals in the United States and also the one in Egypt, Ireland, and Cyprus, you have these, and theater, is magical. You have these experiences with people in a different country under the stars, and that's what these friends are having. So I kind of was like, I empathize. I understand what's going on. And the other day, a request came up during the Facebook, it's a Facebook channel, and one of the hikers was looking for a ride from a place, and I'm also doing it to practice driving a little bit more because it'd been 25 years. And I looked at this guy's post, and I checked, and it said 4 mutual friends. And I went, well, you know how Facebook is, right? You can have all kinds of friends. I know. These 4 friends were 2 people that I worked with at Ellen Stardust Diner, Molly Craven and Zach Snyder in New York City, who were my employees when I was managing there and are very talented and dear to my heart because we had some really great experiences together. Another person, and these all went to school together with this hiker. Kyle Lacey, who was in New York, more of a rockabilly songster, and somebody that has been on the show before, who we both love, Henry Kapersky.
Oh my God, we love Henry.
Who is just, who just got a wonderful write-up in The New Yorker, by the way. Yes.
Because of his Christmas movie that he wrote?
No, I think it's because he's playing music, I believe. I didn't get to read the article.
He's doing a lot of things. Henry's pretty amazing.
But he's in that. Also, by the way, the Rustic Theater in Idlewild, California is in Time Out magazine, I think last issue. As off the beaten path theaters, movie theaters. So we're up here. So anyway, I looked at these 4 friends and I said, look, if I don't get off my butt on this day and go pick up this kid, then it will somehow get back to my friends, that we were in Ottawa, and I don't want that. So, and I went and picked up Reed, and he's a really cool guy. We talked theater. We talk music and stuff, and he's been, and like a lot of the hikers, they start someplace, they come down the mountain, and we have a friendship. As a matter of fact, he just texted me. He forgot his hiking poles because they need the stuff on the ice and the snow that they're.
Wow.
So he left them in my car, so I forwarded them to Big Bear, where he's at now.
Oh my God!
And he just received them, and I snuck in some mini packs of little mini Oreos and.
Oh my God! You're so sweet. I'm sure you made his day.
So he just said thank you.
You know what Mandar said? Accidental stage manager, accidental angel. That's what he said. With the question mark, accidental. He's both. He is an angel of a human anyway. Leo, that's a beautiful story, and thank you for telling it because we were talking this week, and I was like, you have to tell that story. That's beautiful. You are an angel, Leo. We all love you.
I put the mix in trail mix.
Oh, love that.
that's what Mandar said.
I love that. Mandar is hysterical. So let's say hello to Mandar Chick Magnet. Always flanked by hot chicks.
Kenny.
And that Kenny Holcomb has joined us. Lynn Portis, genius. Boy, did she have a busy weekend. She did my show. Lynn and I got in the car. Well, she drove from Long Island to pick me up. We loaded up the car, dropped off Rizzo at John and Frank's because they were taking care of Rizzo.
Oh, my goodness.
Then we drove to Boston, did a sound check, had a little dinner, and then did the show. And then had a little snack, and then drove home.
Little snack, yeah. But anyway, the food at Club Cafe is amazing. I want to give a shout out. Lynn, I'm wearing the T-shirt you bought me from Club Cafe. Look at that T-shirt.
I want to give a shout out to Club Cafe in Boston, Massachusetts, 209 Columbus Avenue. The booking manager there, David Whitman, who's also treated us like royalty. We were treated so well. And shout out to the owner there, Jim Margrave. Thank you so much for having us. There was so much happening under one roof you couldn't imagine. Like there was the front room, they had a show. They had all kinds of people there for dinner. In the back room, they had my show, and then they turned it into a dance club. The place is amazing. It is like a machine. It's always going. And special shout out to the owner of Brandy's Piano Bar, Jim Lazar, who came all the way from New York to see the show, as did Chauncey Dandridge and Ray from Julius. Ray came with Chauncey, and they surprised me, and they came to see the show. But Jim Lazar incredible person, is so good to me. He's the owner of Brandy's, which is on East 84th between 2nd and 3rd. He actually got me the gig because I didn't know anybody at Club Cafe, but he did. They're his friends, and he set me up with them, and the rest is history. And I want to thank all my friends from St. Clements that came out, from the North End that came out, from
Amazing.
Stoneham High that came out, all my Stoneham friends, my childhood friends, my family. Oh my God, my Diana.
I saw those pictures and I just was so sad I could not get there.
Danielle knows Diana. My Uncle Nicky was there, all his kids and their boyfriends and husbands. And Judy flew in for the show. She was amazing. She was so sweet. And we just had the best time. Everybody was wonderful. I'm blown away. My friend Heidi, who's one of my sister's best friends, my friend Diane, who's my sister's best friend. Like, everybody, my neighbors from the last place I lived 35 years ago, just like people were coming out of the woodwork to be supportive, and it couldn't have been, Lynn will tell you, there couldn't have been any more love in that room. It couldn't have fit one more ounce of love.
Those pictures look great. I mean,
yeah.
And I love the tambourine, I could just feel the fun.
We had a lot of fun. I mean, it went on way longer than I thought. I couldn't believe how long it went on, but that was me because I just yap, and you know me, Leo. I can talk for days on end.
Friends, do you know how long this show would be if Maria and I didn't tell each other to be quiet every once in a while?
Oh my God, we have to.
We started probably a half an hour before, and we're still talking.
Oh my God. So a few more shout outs, and then we're going to bring on our very, very, very important guest. Billy Young has joined us. Heidi Zweigel, who was there, she's one of my sister's friends that I told you, one of my sister's best friends, amazing person. She came with two of her friends. Victor Flores, who is the executive chef at Bar Centrale, Orso, and Joe Allen.
He's coming on soon, right?
Victor, yes. We have an open invitation from Victor. The thing with Victor is he's so busy, it's crazy. But Victor, you can zoom in from your phone, even from the kitchen. So we really want to have you on. He's created lots of products that we want to promote as well. But he's an amazing, and he has a great story. He's a great story. So, Victor, please think about it. Look at your Tuesdays and pick one, and we'll have you on.
One of the other Trail Angels signed in to Janine.
Really?
Charles Diggle is watching tonight. Yay!
Oh, how wonderful!
She's up here in Idlewild with me in sunny California.
Oh my God, that's great. Charles,
it was sold out. It was sold out. Dee says it was
sold out. Yeah. It was sold out.
And, SRO.
Yeah, and then they let a few more people in. If they sold it, and they were great. We just had the best time. We had the best time. And Jim, who is the owner of Brandy's, was so sweet. Because they're so busy, he said, "I'll work the door." He worked the door. The owner of Brandy's, my friend.
We know
Jim.
good peeps.
He's such a good guy. He's like, "I'll work the door." And then he took pictures with my sister, and who fell in love with him, of course. But,
I saw that. She looks so great. She looks good.
My little sister is my heart.
She looks good. She's like May, but she looks good.
Oh, speaking of May, we have Lucas Ferdlin because we have a Nothing But the Apron calendar, which, by the way, I still have a couple copies left, and they're originally 15, but since we're in May, 10. If you want a calendar, just let me know. I'll mail it out to you. Lucas Ferdlin, who is with the Oakland Ballet, was our May guy. He is heading back to New York. He's done with his season at the Oakland Ballet, and he's coming back to New York, and we can't wait to see him and work with him. He's going to be he's got his shifts back at Brandy's, and he's going to be working at the Duplex again. Yay. So we can't say enough. Charles Caselli has joined us. Kate Greer has joined us. Barry Silver, hi Barry, from Florida, but I think he's in New York right now. So many great things are happening. Now, enough. We have talked and talked and talked. We have so much, Leo and I can chat for days, but I'm dying to bring on this guest because I have been just enamored with him as a person and as a songwriter for so long. And he's doing a show at Don't Tell Mamas, and it's just, I've tried to get him on before, we just keep missing each other, but he's doing a show at Don't Tell Mamas, and I really want to talk about it.
You guys, his voice is so beautiful.
And his songwriting is equally as beautiful.
Well, the reason I want to play this clip for everybody is because there's a song that Maria and I have worked with before, and one of his lyrics just reminded me of it, and I felt like a instant connection.
Go ahead.
Planetary forces form the light and dark rose asteroids change course, then planets tilt, and the seasons are you gotta break the earth and dig a hole in hopes that something might grow. You gotta break a heart.
Oh my God! You see, I get lost in your music, Tim. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Dipasqua.
Hey, you guys, it's so cool to be here. But I have to start off by saying I could sit and listen to you two the rest of the night.
We're very.
Can I just sit back in my chair and let you do your thing?
Tim, you know what we are? What my mother would call us, chiacchierones. It's an Italian word for chatty Cathys. Chiacchierones.
I think I had that written on my report card.
I'm sure you did. Well, you were Italian, I'm right?
Yes. As a matter of fact, when I shared the post that you and Leo put up today, the San Francisco Italians meeting up with the Boston Italian. It's our coast to coast meeting.
Yes, wow. I love that. And you know what? I've met many San Francisco Italians, and they're very similar to the Boston Italians.
Are they?
Yes, because we, and not to knock any other Italians. I don't want to hear my Jersey Italians and my New York Italians come at me.
Well, no, don't do that.
No, I love them all. But I got to tell you, what the similarity that I find between the San Francisco and the Boston is the authenticity. We keep very close to where we came from in Italy. We still keep all those traditions very authentically. So, what do you know? What part of Italy your family's from, Tim?
Maria, I don't. Yes, this is so strange because my husband and my husband is also Italian.
Oh, okay.
And he's from Framingham, Massachusetts.
Oh,
yeah. And he worked at Stonewall back in the 90s. So yes.
Oh,
and I'm going to try to regale all your stories and history to him, in the next couple of days. But suffice it to say that I try to keep him just a little bit up to date with these little connections.
Oh my God! We'll all have to have some dinner or something, Tim, after your show. After the show. Yeah.
Tim, you're in San Francisco? You live in San Francisco?
Born and raised, yeah.
Oh, I was at Cal State Hayward and the Bay Area for like 14 years. Before I moved to New York, that's where I was going to school. And I was born and raised in East Los Angeles, moved there for school.
Oh, okay.
Worked at the Clift Hotel for 2.5 years, and also for Miss Music. I don't know if you know her. She runs the San Francisco Children's Musical Theater Company.
Leo,
I didn't know it.
So then you went from California to New York,
and then back to
Southern California.
Yep.
Okay, so I want to get to that. Look at me. I'm
so excited. This is so beautiful.
But let me tell you, Maria, we just got our Italian dual citizenships.
Oh my God, I have to write this down. You know why? Because Judy, my girlfriend, has been driving me crazy for years saying, you have to get your dual citizenship.
Yes,
because my parents, my whole family was born there. You did, Tim. I might, after your show, of course, may reach out to you and ask you some questions about...
Maria, I would be so excited to share this with you.
Oh, I love that, Tim.
Because not only at first it was the journey or the mission was just kind of superficial. We found out through Juris Sanguinis that you could get through your bloodline. All you had to do was prove your lineage.
Right.
Your as long as your ancestry line has not, there's nothing that severed it, right, you are automatically an Italian citizen. You just have to prove it.
Right.
And that's where the work comes in.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago, 3 years, 4 years, somewhere around there, my husband started the process. But what turned from just kind of a superficial, perfunctory assignment became so exciting by learning not only your lineage of your ancestors, but where they were born, how they came here, what town you thought they were born in,
Wow.
where you found out they were actually born in, what year they said they were born,
Yes.
and then what year they were actually born in.
You know what? I can't believe you said that, because my dad, this happened quite a bit, and I didn't understand it. But my dad's birthday is January 27th, right?
Okay.
But when he was in the hospital a couple of years ago for like a heart thing, and when they asked his birthday, we said that, and he said, no, that's not what's on my birth certificate. We were like, what? Because it's February 1st is on his birth certificate of the same year, but
Here.
sometimes it was different years. And this is what it had to do with in my dad's town. Back then, when my dad was born in 36, the child's birthday was recorded when the father of the child got to City Hall.
Really?
Yes. So sometimes they would have to walk for like a day
Yeah.
to get there, because it was like, it wasn't just around the corner. You had to go to the town, blah, 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 whatever. And so you would go with like the hospital certificate to say, this is my son, this is his name, he was born, and they would write the date that you arrived there.
So not the date of the actual birth.
No, the date you arrived to register your child. That is your birth date in these little towns in Italy.
Maria, it makes perfect sense that that's the way it was, because all on the documentation from my nonno, he was born in a particular town on a particular date with a particular name. Turns out none of it is true. It was a different name, a different town, a different commune, as they call it.
Right.
And a different birth date. Then it turns out he died in a different city and on a different date than everyone had suspected.
It's just crazy, right?
It is so crazy. And we started this 3 years ago, but we just got a notification from the consulate, the Italian consulate in New York, that it was completed and accepted, and come this August, it will have been the 2 years required for them to process it. So we are waiting to hear from the commune of both of our grandparents' ancestry to let us know that we have been added to the registry.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
Maria, so
did you get emotional? You must have gotten so emotional when you got...
So emotional, but more emotional because of the work that it entails. The work that was, my husband's a lawyer, so he knew how to get in and around, and he loves getting online and uncovering this and discovering this. So it was kind of a hunt for him.
Right.
I finally got emotional because everything had been completed, and I heard from the commune of the town that I thought he was born in saying, no, Adolfo Dipasqua was born here, but we reached out to the outlining communes and we found, so they sent the birth certificates all in Italian. So you have to send all this documentation, put it in very specific folders, in specific orders, birth certificates, death certificates, send it in. And we were going to go into the consulate but of COVID, they closed down.
Yeah, right.
Submit all your information through the mail.
That's incredible.
And then we were going to go to Italy 3 weeks ago, but my father became ill. I heard you guys speak about parents earlier. And so we decided, we can't go to my grandfather's birthplace while my father's compromised. So we had to postpone it. But we were going to go to the town, which is Campanori, which is in Tuscany.
Oh, beautiful.
So what you got to do, Maria, is you have to start that process to make sure you have all your...
Well, I have most of the paperwork. I know because my parents are from Italy. So, and they lived here. My mom passed away about 14 years ago. My dad is still alive. So we have all that paperwork, just in the attic in a suitcase. in my dad's house. So that shouldn't be too difficult.
Yes.
That part of it. It's just the process. And I hate paperwork. I hate it. I would rather like scrub things. It's crazy. I'm very manual labor.
Yeah.
I'm that person. I hate paperwork. It drives me crazy. And so, but we're gonna have to start it. My sister and I have talked about it. My girlfriend and I, she's Cuban, but her family's from Spain originally, so she wants to get her dual citizenship. And it's just, Europe is beautiful, and just when you know that ancestry is so intriguing and gorgeous and romantic, and I want to get to your songwriting right away, because you and I now, we're Caquiarones too, you see?
Yes.
We're talking about this, but it makes total sense that the way you write, Tim, you are like just, folks, you must find Tim Dipasqua online on Spotify. Your album, I got to tell you this. I used to have the actual album. We all did. We had CDs, right?
Yeah.
And
I have tons of them still.
Me too. Me too. And there's still people that have CD players. So please reach out to your songwriters, because we were able to actually make our money back then. We would spend all this money in the studio, and then we were able to recoup a lot of our money by selling CDs, and then
at gigs and concerts and
and of course then they changed all that. But so a lot of us still have our CDs. If you have CD players, let us know, and we'll, Tim, I think you signed it for me. But my favorite CD of yours, although all your music is beautiful, but is Monster Under These Conditions.
Maria, thank you.
My God, Tim.
That's so sweet, Maria.
Oh my God, you don't understand. And I'm not just saying this because I love you and because you're on my show. I wanted you to be on my show because I love you. And because
for years too, right? For years. You've tried to make this happen.
Yes, I have. But it was a lot going on. It was during COVID. A lot was happening. But I wanted to have you on the show for so long. But you're actually on a list that I still have of like the people that, please, I got to get this guy on. Anyway, that album, I used to play it, Tim. I had a little CD player with the headset that I had on the bus. My mom was very sick, and I would go home every 10 days to 2 weeks to visit my mom and help out. And I would play, because I was so stressed out, and I would play your album to talk me off the ledge. I never told you that, but that is the God's honest truth. I would play your album so that I could just be in a really good place. So that
Maria, that is such a beautiful story.
Listen to it. It's spectacular. I have chills. When I listen to you. Beautiful.
And give my love to.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautifully produced. So I just wanted to tell you that. I don't think I ever got a chance to tell you that your album, that Monster Under These Conditions album, was like it was the pill that I needed, the musical pill I needed to get myself to a place where I could be helpful to my mother. And thank you.
Maria, thank you. I cannot think of a more divine connection between a writer or a performer, what they've created, and what someone has done with that creation. And clearly, that was in a place where it facilitated a grounding and a healing for you.
Yeah.
And not only that, but for you to be there for your mom.
Yeah, she was the best. She was the best.
See her pass.
Yeah.
See her move on.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, your music is so beautiful. And I tell everybody this because I want you to go and listen to the album. It is on Spotify, but also if you do have a CD player. Tim, do you have a website?
I was telling Leo, I have the domain.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have, I haven't built one yet. So I'm going to call Leo. He actually
Leo is magical with
that's what I hear. So he gave me his information. Right. So I know I'm lame.
This is so great. No, don't listen. A friend of mine 20 years ago designed my website and built it. My friend Billy Malcolm, and then over the years he got very busy and whatever. And then Leo took it over and has done incredible. If you go to my website, mariagentili.com, anybody can go to it. you'll see what Leo has done, and I am so thrilled with it. And then he always will like update it with like shows that I'm doing, and I don't know how to do that, Tim. That's not what we're good at, but we don't have to be good at it. That's why there are Leos in the world that take care of that stuff.
That is absolutely right. And Maria, I have to say, you guys, your pairing is so beautiful. The two of you, complementing each other, supporting each other artistically, creatively. That in and of itself is such a great thing to have discovered. So, do you find, Maria, that your website is helpful to
Oh
you?
my God, yes.
Like more so than Facebook or more so than Instagram?
You know what? I think it all complements each other, because Facebook I love because I feel like these days, it depends on the age group. I think like if you're super young, you don't bother with Facebook. You're more of an Instagram person.
Yeah.
I'm not as much of an Instagram. I love Facebook. I think Facebook has connected me to so many people. However, business-wise, it's a website. So, Leo, what were you going to say?
I was going to say we had Sue Mitsuki on last week, and her website is much like mine. You go there, and you can get to all the Facebook and everything from her website. So you drive the traffic to everywhere else by people going to you in your name.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen, my husband, he's just been getting on my case to get that done. And I know I should, but Maria, I think you touched on this earlier, maybe that part of your brain is just not as active as the creative part, whereas
we can't be good at everything. And not just that, but like there are certain things that I'm wonderful at. I'm wonderful. Like people will say, oh, wow, that was so great, whatever it is I do, oh, I love that. I said, listen, that's what I'm good at. I'm not good at everything. You should see the stuff I suck at. Like, and that's one of the things, paperwork, anything online. That's why I love people like Leo, because Leo is he's an artist as well, and he's a songwriter as well, but he's also a Sagittarius. He's very methodical and very...
Virgo Moon Rising is the other.
There you go.
That's the other.
When's your birthday, Tim?
November 15th.
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Like Lynn Portis.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, Lynn Portis, my musical director and one of my best friends. So we don't look. You know what? My brain doesn't work that way, and it's okay. Like I've forgiven myself, or you should forgive yourself for it.
Maria, I said this to myself the other day with this show coming up. I said to my husband, I said, a lot of people struggle with imposter syndrome lately. I've been hearing that, bandied about. And I said to him, I said, I suffer from a lot of things. I have a list of anxieties and insecurities that I battle with daily. But what I don't battle with is imposter syndrome. Because whether you like it or not, I know what I do when I create my music and I perform it. And there's such a relief about that, because I'm not trying to do something I don't know how to do.
Right.
I'm not trying to do something I can't do, nor am I trying to do something better than someone else. I'm just in my lane doing that. And everything else, I don't know. I don't know these things, but let's get a Leo. Let's pull in the people who do know these things.
Absolutely. And you know what? I joke around, but it's true. I say everybody needs a Leo Rodriguez in their life. And it's partly a joke because I always tease Leo, but it's the truth. Like, you have to have people in your corner that you trust, that love you and want you to succeed. Because lots of times in this business, there's so much competition that there are, little funny things happen behind the scenes, but there are amazing people like Leo that want us to succeed, and we all lift each other up. It's a mutual lifting up. And you're one of those people, Tim, that always roots for other people as well. I am the same way. I feel like if you succeed, that means I succeed. We all succeed.
Absolutely, Maria.
There's no outrunning each other out. What is that about? Knocking each other over. It's ridiculous.
Because everybody is unique. Everyone is different. There's no need to try to outpace somebody else. There's only Maria, no one sings like you. No one writes like you. No one creates like you. You're it.
Right, and same thing about you. You know, like it's so unique. Like when I hear your voice, I know it immediately. What I know even more than your voice is what happens to me when I hear your stuff.
Oh.
So it's like it's a sense memory of your music for me. I'm like, I know it right away. It washes over me, and I exhale. I'm like, I just had a Tim Dipasqua experience. It's the truth. You know who else I feel that way about? Karen Mack. Karen Mack's voice and her album is the same way. I feel, but it's different than what I feel about yours. Like, it's just, I know it viscerally. When I hear it, I'm like, that's Karen Mack.
Well, Maria, I can't thank you enough. And I've taken this break for the last 3 years, like so many people through the pandemic. And I just was sitting in my office here at the piano, going through my catalog, writing new material, and just sticking to what it is I do. And I thought, all right, what am I going to do to either just get out of this room and back out into the world? I've put out some other music, recently, but I don't know that I want to pull a band again together. I want to just sit by myself, do my Joni thing.
Yes.
If I can grab that, I don't want to put myself in that category, but she's, who isn't a fan of Joni and who isn't inspired by her? When I think about that, I said, let me just go and do this by myself, bring my catalog, dust it off, and just see, because I'm in it, as we all are, we're all in different spaces.
Yeah.
Then we've lost people. That carves you up.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. I agree with you. And life changes. Like what I've been doing lately, maybe it's because I'm getting older now, but I mentally photograph an experience now. Like when you take your phone and you what do they call that? A screenshot it, right? Mm-hmm. So now what I do is I screenshot what I'm looking at, like that day, whatever that experience is, and I go, this will never be exactly the same again. Never. And that happened to me because of COVID, because I realized that the world would never be the same again, and that I had to appreciate every single thing. And now I do that with people. And you're right, like so many things changed, and places closed, and friends were gone, and relatives have passed on. And I just think what you said is amazing. Now I do want to promote your show, because otherwise, you and I can talk for 3 days, and which is beautiful. But let's promote your show. So,
Thank you.
Okay, so it's June 3rd, which is it's a Saturday.
Yes.
At 7 p.m. and it is at Don't Tell Mamas, right?
Yes.
And is that in the back room?
In the brick room.
In the brick room. Okay.
Yeah, I guess because they have the main room and the brick room right next to each other.
Yeah.
It's in the brick room, yeah.
I like that room a lot. It's very intimate and beautiful, and it's kind of magical.
It is.
Yeah.
And Maria, thank you. Thank you for plugging it. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for getting it out there. I so appreciate it.
Of course. Now, I am going to tell you, if you already know Tim Dipasqua, and you can do it, you're in town or you're not working, you will be there, because why would you deny yourself that experience, right? That's the way I feel. If you don't know Tim Dipasqua and you're out of town, you are, after the show, going to go to his, you're going to go to Spotify, and then Leo's going to help him build a website, and then you can have a website to go to.
Yes.
But you will fall in love with Tim's music and his voice and his lyrics and sentiment behind the songs. It's just incredible. And I can't say enough about your stuff. And also, Tim, one of the things that you've been doing a lot is you play these, you videotape just your hands on the piano.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I love those. I always watch those. So tell us about those as well.
Well, maybe 27 years ago, John Bacchino.
I love who we love, yeah.
We all know John. I love John. He got me to be included in this program where they had lobby pianists in maybe 3 or 4 buildings around the city. And I've been doing it for 27 years, where you play lunchtime piano in corporate office lobbies.
Wow.
And, you know, when 9/11 happened, we all thought, okay, we were going to be the first to be cut. But we realized after a short while is that that's what they needed most now. They needed the music. They needed inspiration, and not, you know, not to pat ourselves.
No, but what we do is important for the spiritual. But people spiritually need that to rebuild.
Yes.
You know, it's not a grandiose thing. It's musicians are vital.
So basically, I play the piano, and I have a little phone there, and you know, I'm not good tech-wise. You know, I struggled even to get on to your show tonight, but I did it with Leo's help, your help, and my husband's help. So I will just make these little clips of just impromptu piano recordings, because I play by ear. I don't read music, so I can't write music. So I have a billion songs in my head, from all the way back to the 20s and 30s, but more contemporary stuff. So I'll think, oh, Mariah Carey, let me play this song. Let me get my phone going. So it may not be in the right traffic pattern. I may miss a chorus here. I may get, because I'm just making it on the spot. But then I clip it, and tidy it up a bit, edit it, post it, and people respond. But it's because I see what happens when people walk in the lobby. It's like bartending, Maria. They will come up to the piano and they will start to tell you, oh, you know, I used to be in a rock band when I was younger, but went into finance, and boy, or I've got 5 kids. I have no time to create music anymore. Oh, I just lost my wife. You hear every story imaginable. And
Yes.
Depending on what song's being played at the time, it either sparks joy or it sparks sorrow. But it's just so powerful and simple, because I'm not thinking about it. I'm just letting it flow, doing a little recording on the phone, and then just posting it.
You know what? I just love it. And I love what you just said, because this is how I look at musicians and the general, let's call it the general public, right?
Okay.
I feel that people are walking around, as my mother used to say, which means with things in their head.
Ooh, beautiful.
Everybody's walking around with like so much in their head, right? So they're walking through that lobby and they hear something. And it's as if a wind blows.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it evokes things that they remember. And it wakes them up to who they really are. And, you know, it's like there's wind chimes in there or something. And all of a sudden, like, the music is the wind. And they're like, oh my God, I feel all these feelings. And it's so important. You know, Danielle just wrote, I agree, music is healing and a necessary spiritual tool in everyone's life. And she's a spiritual healer who I can't say enough about. But, you know, so many. Go ahead, Leo. You want to say something?
No, go ahead. I was sorry. Go ahead. I'll say it after. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, that's you. It's so beautiful that you're there, and of course they want to tell you. Like my dentist, who I love, I found this new dentist right after COVID, right? And he is a dentist, of course. That's what he does by trade. He has 3 kids, same thing. But he is a classical pianist.
Yeah.
And we can't wait. Well, I can't talk because he's fixing my mouth. But he can't wait to tell me what he's doing. Like, and then he asks me all the time, "Are you working?" Like, oh my goodness. And we talk about music, and he says, "I've been writing these little children's lullabies now." And he's so excited when I come in that the time flies by. And I'm so excited because I think, wow, my dentist is not just a dentist.
No,
he's a pianist. Like, he gets me, and I get him. You know, like...
That's so powerful. And I know, Leo, I don't want to interrupt you, but that's a good lesson, because we pass strangers, hundreds every single day, and we never know what else is going on
behind
their eyes.
Yes.
What burden they're carrying, or what other career they have going on. You have no idea until you just stop and you imagine and you receive what is this human being comprised of? What's going on inside?
Right.
There's so much more that you can bear witness to. Leo, please.
When we did Broken Moments, before you saw it, Maria, the first incarnation where we did it in the bar, the purpose of my musical numbers, at least the group numbers, like You Gotta Believe, if you remember that song, was that the audience was in the bar with us, but we surrounded the audience. So, and we didn't use any microphones. It was all vocal. It was a small, intimate 50-seater spot. And we surrounded them with the gospel tune and a couple other songs as well. But my idea in directing that moment that way was to force, those musical strings that we see through people. To each other across the room, and we were singing, and they were all surrounded by this music that was saying "You gotta believe," and you're right. That's what music I think can do. I wish people had seen what I saw when it was doing.
Well, but you know what? They may not see it, but they feel it. See, that's the thing. It's electric. There's something going on. Now we got to take a moment for a few things. I usually do a food section of my show. I don't know if you know about that, Tim, but I do a food section where I cook every week.
I know.
To stay creative. I think it's important that if I ask people to come on and bare their creative souls, I must, do that every week. So what did I make this week? I'm usually on some kind of a diet, but I went the hell off of it this week for my birthday.
Happy birthday, Maria.
Thank you, honey. It was Sunday. I had the best weekend. And tonight we'll, I have to end this birthday celebration or I'm not going to fit into anything. But anyway, what did I make? I've been on the keto, so no carbs, but I'm having carbs tonight. So this is mushroom ravioli. Yes, with a truffle butter. I did a truffle butter with a little unami seasoning, and we put some chives, very simple, and a little bit of basil. So simple and beautiful, and I can't wait to eat it. I've been so good. And then
I can smell that.
Good, Leo. I'm glad. When Leo comes back to town, I will cook for you. And what did I make for? I love salads. My salad is romaine lettuce, hot house cucumbers, which are very much like English cucumbers, but a little bit different, and San Marzano tomatoes, which of course for our Italian heritage, Tim.
Yes.
And they are so delicious. I eat them by themselves. Salt and onion, just eat them like candy. And then scallions instead of onions, just to mix it up, and red peppers. And I'm going to there's a delicious balsamic vinegar that I love. It's called Fini, Fini.
Okay.
And I've only found it at Whole Foods, and it's a little expensive. It's like $17 a bottle, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
It just needs a little bit of that. And then I'm going to put a rosemary infused olive oil from the Boston Olive Oil Company.
Can you hold that up again? I don't have my glasses and I need a close-up. Oh, yeah.
Maria, can I ask you a question?
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, my love.
You worked at Stonewall the other night, right?
Yeah, last night.
Went to Boston and back. When do you have time to do all of this? I must sleep thinking about it.
I'm going to give you, my mother used to say, this was her favorite saying, Chi si ferma è perduto. He who stops is lost. And as kids, that was my grandfather Jerry, my nonna Judy used to say that too. Chi si ferma è perduto. And he was behind us because it was like 10 of us, 12 of us, and I was the oldest one, and so I was expected to be the first duckling leading the Chi si ferma è perduto. Let's go. Whoever is, if you stop, you are lost. And we were like, oh my God, we got to keep going. So that is a thing that I always remember. And also, I was in school, I did every activity you can imagine. I love to be busy. I'm a Gemini. And then my grandfather, who was my idol of life, would come and pick me up after school and say, you have some time? I need you. I'd be like, sure. We would go into the woods. Now, he was a telephone repairman. He worked crazy hours. Into the woods. He would chop wood. I would carry it up the hill. We'd put it in the truck. And then he would cord it, and we'd go house to house. And he'd say, you go up to the houses and ask them if they need a cord of wood. And Mrs. So-and-so, do you need, yeah. And then I'd go back to the truck, and my grandfather would pick it up, and we sold, and he would pay me at the end. So in my brain, love is work, and joy is like, chi si ferma è perduto.
That's
if you
beautiful.
stop, you are lost. So I'm like, do the next right thing, do the next right thing, do the next right thing.
So
The family manager says that you're a crazy person and that you'd have no sleep.
Oh yes,
That's my cousin Rena. Yes.
this is a self-perpetuating, sustainable fuel for you.
I'm exhausted though, Tim. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I fall asleep in the middle, like in my head, I fall asleep in the middle of a sentence.
Did you fall asleep tonight?
No,
Good.
not at all.
Okay, good.
Not at all. Not at all. This is beautiful. Plus, life is so great. Like, I don't want to miss anything. All
right, we haven't had dessert yet, though.
Okay, yes. All right, so
Give
for
me-
my
give me
birthday,
some-
my friend John Bronson, who's a wonderful musical director and who has been doing amazing things as of late. The harder they come. He just musically directed Man of No Importance. He worked on Teen of the musical.
He was just an ain't misbehaving in the Midwest. For
Right,
the
you
night.
talk about someone that, like, where does he find the time?
Yeah,
He knows
Another honorary Mexican.
my favorite cake is a chocolate peanut butter cake. And he
Ooh.
made me, this is what's left of it from last night.
Oh my God!
I can't tell you how good this smells. So it's
Turn it
chocolate
around.
and
Turn it
peanut
around.
butter. And this is what's left of it.
Oh,
Yes, oh my God, it's right.
massacred.
Yes,
It's-
so it has been eaten, most of it. It looked like a big Reese's cup, and there were Reese's cups on top.
Oh
So
my
this
goodness.
is what's
If I
left.
like peanut butter, I would be all over that.
Oh my
Was that
God.
why you're on the keto diet tonight? Because of that?
I'm not, well, I'm going to have to go back to it, yeah. Because the thing with me is when I go off like with sugar. I love sugar.
I
Like-
understand.
So then I have to be good in protein and vegetables. But Tim, let me ask you,
Yes.
what is your, like, if you could have, say, a birthday dinner or a, like, I just finished my show, I deserve blank, what would you eat? What would you eat? What's your, like, reward food or comfort food or, like, a good memory from childhood with food?
That's very interesting. Well, you know I'm a vegan.
I didn't know that. I figured you were a vegetarian because you look so healthy. And I know you're like as my mother would say, keeps a nicer shape. David keeps a nicer shape. So I know you're healthy.
That's so good.
It's the
But
truth.
I've incorporated salmon and tuna back in
Oh,
my diet.
good. I love both of those things.
Pescatarian, is that?
Yes, pescatarian.
You know, no dairy, no beef, nothing like that. But I will have salmon every now and again. So what I'm doing now is making fish tacos.
Oh, that's nice.
I'll get the whole wheat tortilla.
Yeah.
I'll crumble up my cooked salmon and put some chili powder and seasonings and sun-dried tomatoes in. I'll steam some kale. I got brown rice.
Wow.
And then I roll it all up in this tortilla. And that's heaven to me.
That sounds like heaven. That's a really healthy but delicious thing.
You think so?
Yes, that sounds so good. When I'm on the keto, I can't have the rice, but I do things like that. You can have certain tortillas are very low in carb.
Yes, these are low in carbs. Oh, and I also have soy cheese or cashew cheese. Shredded.
Oh yeah, cashew cheese I've had is pretty good. Our friend Danielle, she's a vegan, so she knows.
And Danielle is the
spiritual medium.
Oh, I'll have to contact her.
Oh no, you don't understand.
I don't.
And first of all, you two will be fast friends because she could have been in this conversation in no time.
Oh my goodness.
She is so amazing, and she has so many different. Why don't we post Danielle's website, Leo? We'll post it.
Is she on the East Coast, or is she?
She's in Long Island, but she does everything via Zoom and on the phone.
Wow.
So you don't even have to go out to her, which is so great.
Huh?
Yeah, I had the quantum session. It's called, which is it's talking to the other side, but also very self-healing. You know, she helps you with what's happening in your own life, and then just this weekend I had the spirit animal mini reading, which completely changed my, like it took all my fear, and I was like, oh, so if I'm like I was a little nervous going up to my show, and I'm like, and she gave me this reading, and I was like, oh, I know what to do now. Like if I get in that place I know exactly what I'm going to do, and the audience is not going to know I'm doing it, but I'm going to know I'm doing it.
And
it was like it happened.
Rounds and centers you.
Yes.
What did she tell you? What did she tell you? Or can you divulge that?
Well, I will divulge it, but my two spirit animals were a black hawk, which I didn't expect at all. Italians and birds, they're always like, birds are bad luck. But black hawk, which I have seen, it's weird how I'll see black hawks and in different places. And then a flamingo, which I think flamingos are goofy. I'm always like, flamingos, they're so goofy. But it makes sense because I'm both, so she said, like, if I were to get, I mean, this is how I heard it, Danielle, so I don't know if you said this exact thing, but this is how I incorporated it. If you get nervous, just picture yourself like spreading your wings and flying over the audience. And I did it. Like, I went out there and I was nervous, but I just like said, I'm going to be the hawk now.
Oh.
And it worked. And then the flamingo is goofy and like a big like clown, right? So when I was doing my comedy, I was like, well, now I'm a flamingo.
Oh, man.
And it helped me.
Maria, that picture of you with the tambourine just is a perfect picture of that flamingo.
You think so?
You got all the covered. All the bases are covered.
Yes, but it's, you know what I love about having sessions with Danielle is that it's just like, I feel like we have so much, like we're carrying so much on our back all the time, right? From life and the news and all this awful stuff. That we are spiritual animals as musicians and as creatives. Yeah. Anyone that's creative, and this is not to knock anybody out there, because most people that watch the show are very creative. As creatives, we are spiritual beings. Mm-hmm. So, we're just like kids and we're walking around. There's all this stuff. When you get these sessions with Danielle, for me, I found that I just dropped everything. Wow. And I was this free, I could be this free spirit. That, yes, then I have to go to work and I have to do this, and then I've been watching so much less news since working with Danielle, and I take in what I need to, and then I'm like, this other stuff is going to hurt me. I don't need to listen to it now.
You're sensitive to what you're feeling from it.
Yeah.
And say, no, I can't allow this in at the moment.
Right, and even how I work with others, like. People in my environment or people in my life, I'm very good at setting boundaries now.
Oh.
Yeah. And I wasn't always at all. But so I can't say enough about Danielle.
Well, I'm gonna look her up.
You know what? I will actually send you her link in our feed.
Okay.
So you'll have it. It's
also when you have time, when you can incorporate other things, I will help you with the any information you need about the dual citizenship.
Beautiful. We're going to do that. So now let's reiterate. Tim's show is Saturday, June 3rd, 7 p.m. at Don't Tell Mamas. You can go to the Don't Tell Mamas website, or you can call them, I'm sure. And you must make a reservation, because I'm telling you right now, this will sell out. It is one of the nicest things you can do for yourself to go to Tim's show. I promise you will feel uplifted, calm, and like something has washed over you and you can't put your finger on it. And
can I say one more thing?
Yeah, anything you want.
Maria, so many people have either said, either Tim, you're so spiritual, or you're this or you're that, whatever. And it always kind of takes me back, because I never think of myself as that. I think of myself just churning through life's challenges and putting forth through music, the challenge that I just came out of.
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid to get messy. I'm not afraid. Yeah. In fact, I think that that's what I identify with, is the messiness of life, not transcending the mess, or not elevating yourself above the mess, but sitting in it.
You know what you do? Here's what I just figured out that you do, because you're talking about the mess. You take the mess and you give us a message. That's it. That's what you do, because you just said, because I don't see you're the mess in your life. I just get the message. So if you've obviously you're saying, I'm just going through the mess, but I get the message. So to me, how I would say, Tim Dipasqua, takes a mess and gives a message.
Will you do my commercial for my website?
Of course. I'd love to. I'd love to. Now, I do want to take a second and shout out all our friends, because we usually do that, but we were so enthralled with each other. I do want to thank people that have joined us tonight. Of course, Amanda, of course, Danielle.
For me too, Maria.
Yes, and my cousin Rena Crinali-Bergi, who's amazing. Victor Flores, the executive chef at Joe Allen, Orso, and Bar Centrale, who's going to join us. Amazing. Juliana Cesari, my friend Julie, she's in LA. She was the first director that hired me for an equity show, so I got my equity card. I always thank her for that.
Beautiful.
Lynn Portis, my musical director and best friend, genius. So many amazing people that have joined us. Let me see. And so many people that pop on. Linda Austin. Oh, my God. Linda, we got to get you on the show, too. She's in Las Vegas. She's an incredible drummer. Percussionist, wow. I should just say percussionist. Incredible. And I know that our friend Jill Dilly has joined us. Bobby Belfry, who we adore. I work with him on Saturdays.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Bobby.
Oh, my God. Bobby's the best.
Oh,
Barbara
Bobby,
Pupa.
I love you.
Bobby, isn't he beautiful? Bobby's beautiful. Also an amazing show.
Man, darn.
Barbara Pupa, who is Dominic Pupa's mom, who we love. Barry Silver, Eddie Kutu. We went to high school together, Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. Heidi Zwagel. If you need real estate, need to buy anything out in Massachusetts, Heidi's your girl. Kenny Holcomb in Tennessee.
Hi, Kenny.
Alan Schultes, I don't know who that is, but maybe that's a friend of yours. Or just welcome, Alan. And I think that's it. Chris DePiero, filmmaker, one of our great friends. Hi, Chris. All right. If we haven't shouted you out, we love you and we appreciate you. Come back every week at Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tim, I'm going to call upon you one last time. Will you please leave all our creative friends with a message of hope, something, if they are ready to give up or at the end of their rope or confused or stuck, what would you tell them?
I've been pondering this lately, especially seeing how frightened people are, and with their fear, the way they treat each other out of their fear in unkind and unhealthy ways, from snapping at someone on the bus or bombing a city in Eastern Europe. It's getting to the point where just being kind to one another is out of reach. So my message is just be kind in some small way, because it's getting to the point where we're forgetting that it's the kindness that we offer one another that's the fuel that's going to propel us forward, and it's the balm that's going to heal. And I'm not talking about glossing over anger. Deal with your anger. Deal with your fear. Don't take your fear and your anger out on someone. Deal with it. That's what I'm talking about, the mess. Go inside so that, do I have crappy days? I had one today. Do I feel hopeless and insecure and vulnerable? Yes. 3 times today. Do I feel love here? Yeah. That's why I'm not feeling sad. Because I feel this love exchange.
Right. Yep.
Doesn't mean if we hang out another hour, we're going to be at each other's throats.
Right.
That may happen, but own your crap.
Right.
Own your crap and take care of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
love it. That's a very realistic approach to taking the mess and giving us a message. Once again, Tim Dipasqua, I'm telling you, I have loved talking to you, as I always do. I love your music. Leo, thank you for everything you do. You see, everyone needs a Leo Rodriguez in their life.
Thank you.
Come back every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We love and appreciate you. And as Tim Dipasqua said, be kind to one another. It's very important. So thank you.
guys.
Thank you, everybody. We
Bye,
really
everybody.
are.
It's who I am.